Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope all you guys are having a great day. It is Taco Tuesday, and I hope all your taco dreams come true. You know, I'm down here actually, of course, but I've been doing pretty much every week, coming down for about 3 or 4 days a week working on the red brick house, and I love working on the red brick house. And it's kind of cool because it literally changes by the day. And one of the things that's really cool is we've been doing some work on the front of the house, is noticing how many people slow up and look, or they'll roll down the window and they'll say, "We love what you're doing with the house. It changes by the day. It's beautiful. Thank you." And if I had $1 for everybody who did that, I'd probably have enough money to finish the place. To be quite honest with you, but it's great when you have something that you love and other people appreciate it too. Something else that I love is the Dallas Cowboys. I wake up in the morning, talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Before I go to sleep at night, talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And in between, I got my beautiful wife Tracy. So yeah, nothing but love all day long. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys, it's interesting to me because I listen to ESPN, and like Chris Canty has become the ultimate Dallas Cowboy hater. Former Dallas Cowboy defensive lineman, goes to New York City with the Giants, wins the Super Bowl with them, and now is the ESPN, I hate the Dallas Cowboys and everything they do guy. Even though they've had 2 years of 12-5 seasons, which is pretty good. Even though they actually increased their talent, they've actually talked down about them. The thing that's interesting more than anything else is people will go through and they will listen to analysis and automatically think that if it's said there, it is the ultimate thing, that it's not going to ever be wrong. And when we're looking at the draft, for example, and draft prospects and stuff, and people will say, "Oh, well, this guy's a bum," because they've read draft prospects and this is what they've deemed this person to be. And then there's perception of that versus the reality of it. To give you an example, Dak Prescott's draft prospect grade was a 5.9. Okay? And what they actually said was an average backup or special teamer. Didn't say eventual starter. That was his prospect. Now, here it is. He's about to get his second big contract. He's got a lot of the Dallas Cowboys records, and if he plays for another 2 or 3 years, will pretty much own every Cowboys passing record there is. I know there are the Dak Prescott haters out there that say the Cowboys need to move on from him, but finding somebody of his caliber isn't easy. You can take a look around the NFL and understand that finding quarterbacks is hard. On the flip side, you have, again, we had Dak Prescott rated at a 5.9. You get a guy like Josh Rosen, who they grade at a 6.7, year one starter, right? Basically they said he was one of the best ones in that draft class. The two couldn't be further wrong. I'll give you one more here. Cam Chancellor. This is what they said about Cam Chancellor, who was drafted as a safety by, of course, the Seattle Seahawks. Chancellor is an elite run defender for a safety, but he isn't a complete package. While he can certainly contribute at the next level, he lacks the athletic ability to ever be a force in coverage. He projects as a solid backup and special team contributor, which helps his stock, but he may never be more than that. Yeah, yeah. That's what they said about Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor. They couldn't have been further wrong than that. So, I'm saying all this because of DeMarvion Overshown. DeMarvion Overshown is one of those type players that Dan Quinn loves. What they love is, and I'm not crazy about position flex when it comes to, say, defensive linemen. When you say he's a defensive end who can play tackle and we can throw him down at the one technique like we used to do. At some point, when you need a nose tackle, you need a guy who's a thug, a roll-off dumpster of dirt, and is a nose tackle. It's not a tweener between tackle and end. You need, a guy with a certain set of skills. However, the Cowboys have been great at getting tweeners with safety / linebackers. When we play the heavy nickel, and that's basically where we have three safeties, where a safety is actually like a linebacker. The Cowboys have things that they love, or Dan Quinn loves. He likes length. He likes taller guys. He likes speed. Okay? And he likes aggression. And this is where DeMarvion Overshown really fits the bill completely, because originally he was a safety. His coach in high school was talking about him having like 10 or 12 interceptions in a season and like 20 tackles for loss. Now, he's 6'3", 229 pounds. He needs to get his NFL grown man body. They're going to put some weight on him. We'll probably want him around like 240, 245. But you can see him being this guy who can definitely chase the quarterback. I love his prospect grade, a 5.96. Let's go through this. Average backup or special teamer. That's what they say about him. Average backup or special teamer. Production score ranked 70. Production score 70. Ranked 8th as linebacker, 13th as athleticism, and 73 combine. So 9th rated linebacker. But here's the thing. 4.56 40. He's fast. And see, this is where I was trying to say to Eagle fans last night, because Eagle fans think that everything that happened last year, nobody's going to learn from what they did last year. Right now, as we speak, defensive coordinators and their coaching staffs are picking apart everything that everybody's done. They're watching film. They're looking for intricacies. For example, we all learned this in high school. Watch what the offensive lineman's hands do. Okay, if there's a little weight on the back on their hands, okay, a little weight, more than likely they're setting up the pass block because they got the weight on the back of their body so they can stand up quickly. If you see their hands down in the dirt, you see white on their knuckles, means they're putting more weight on it. They're leaning forward. More than likely, it's going to be a run play because they're trying to get ready to like a track runner in the blocks. They're leaning forward so they can get that jump. There's subtleties that you learn about the other team that will lead you to what the play is going to be. And so many times last year, you saw Jalen Hurts literally run right up the middle with nobody there, or nobody there fast enough to stop them. I dare say DeMarvion Overshown, with his speed from the backside, can be a spy to stop Jalen Hurts. Seriously. Because what you need a guy, and when I say a spy, basically your man is the quarterback. You mirror wherever he goes. If he goes bootlegs out, you're going to bootleg and follow him. Your job. Follow the quarterback. You got one job. You got one job, and that's the quarterback. He has the speed and the capability to do that, having played linebacker, because he was originally a safety converted to a linebacker. He's used to getting upfield. All the tackles for losses in high school as a safety. 20 as a safety, tackles for losses. Are you kidding me? That's where a guy like him is a certain set of skills that the Cowboys need as a specialization. And as you've got more and more running quarterbacks like your Lamar Jackson and things like that, you need speed at linebacker. You also need a guy who is fast to be able to cover those tight ends. And having a guy who is 6'3", he's tall enough when you're getting your George Kittles and your Kelsics and things and stuff like that in the slot to be able to cover him. And so he is like a heat-seeking missile. I'm telling you. Fire and forget. Okay? Fire and forget. That's what he's going to be. And I think he will have an impact on this defense. Like I said, the funny thing is listening to the draft prospects. He's a special teamer, maybe an eventual starter. Yeah, okay. Well, you saw what they said about Cam Chancellor too, right? Yeah. All right, so getting out of here, let's listen to Marcus Spears. I kind of teased him a little bit. He has been I need to go back to last year and see more or less what he said for the Cowboys last year.
We're going to play a game of more or less based on win totals, projected win totals from ESPN's Football Power Index. Daniel Jones and the Giants projected to win 8.2 games. Chris Canty, will they win more or less?
I'm going with more, Graz, and we understand how important.
So you're saying they're going to win 9 games? Okay.
Just hold it. Their entire coaching staff, including the AP Coach of the Year and Brian Daboll, but also both coordinators, Mike Kafka on the offensive side and Wink Martindale on the defensive side. The only team in the division that's doing that, and the great part about what Joe Shea did, he addressed the pass catches by trading for Darren Waller and drafting Jalen Hurts.
Mike G, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles with a win total of 10.3 according to FBI. More or less?
Oh, they'll go more, despite them losing both their coordinators, because they have a really good football team. And despite losing Javon Hargrave and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, most notably on defense, they had a great draft with Jalen Carter highlighting this group. So another year for Jalen Hurts, year 3 in the NFL with Nick Sirianni. I'm going more wins for the Eagles.
Staying in the NFC East, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys with a win total of 9.4. Chris Canty, what say you?
I'm going less, Graz. Going less for the Cowboys. Apologize, Dallas fans, but that's it.
Okay, I'm going to hold it there for a second. So wait a minute. Wait. So saying the Cowboys are going to go less than 9.4, then that means they're going 9 or less. Saying the Giants are going to go more than 8.7, it's saying that the Giants are going to go at least 9 wins or more. So you're literally saying that the Giants are better than the Dallas Cowboys, or at worst, at least even? Seriously? Anybody else buying that?
Just the reality. I got to tell you how I see it. When you look at the Cowboys, they got the NFC West and the AFC East, 2 divisions that had multiple playoff teams last year.
Don't the Giants have that too? Don't the Giants have that too?
You can make an argument that the AFC East is the best division in all of football. And last year, the Dallas Cowboys were 4-4 on the road. This year, they've got 9 road games. Doesn't bode well for the Dallas Cowboys.
I just gotta say, it just bugs me. It's more. It should be fewer, not more or less. It should be fewer. Yeah. Fewer, not less. Be grammatically correct. I'm really trying to push this. Have been for years. Nobody's listening. Mike T, do you agree that Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are going to take a step back this season?
You know, Chris, we're dealing with this Georgetown education here today. It's a lot to deal with.
Georgetown, you know how to speak English. Yeah.
I think the Cowboys are going to be better. I think they had a really efficient offseason. When you think about their needs, they needed another number 1 corner opposite Trayvon Diggs. If Stephon Gilmore could stay healthy, despite moving up in age, I think he can still get another year or 2 out of him. And then most notably, Brandon Cooks. They lost a lot when they lost Amari Cooper. He's a guy that can hit a home run. It's going to free up a lot of things underneath, most notably for CeeDee Lamb. And I think Tony Pollard was their best running back for the last 2 years, and now with Zeke Elliott gone, I actually think it's addition by subtraction. And look, on the coaching staff, they're not going to score as many points, but they're going to be better. Dak Prescott had 17 interceptions. The way Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer, I work with Brian Schottenheimer at the New York Jets. I know how they're going to want to approach the game. This will be a more difficult team to beat because they'll have less self-inflicted wounds.
Fewer self-inflicted wounds, right? That's what you meant to say.
That's what.
Yeah, look, I think that's the crux of it for the Cowboys, right? They scored the 2nd most points in the league over the last 4 years, behind only the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then they moved on from the offensive coordinator. Mike T thinks this is a benefit to them because it'll help reduce the turnovers. I personally, I struggle with the idea of scoring fewer points being a good idea in today's NFL. Where do you come down on the idea of the coaching change?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I don't think that's the goal. Mike McCarthy is moving on from Kellen Moore because he sold Jerry Jones that he's more of the problem than the solution. Ergo, Mike McCarthy taking on more of those responsibilities. And you have to question whether or not that's a good thing for the team, because you're talking about a head coach that hasn't done the job when it comes to instilling discipline in his teams. All you got to do is look at the penalties, and you look at the overall game management with him using timeouts and challenges. So Mike McCarthy has
He got a ring.
lot
Kellen
from
Moore
Zion,
ain't.
and on top of that, the organization is saying we are going to ask Dak Prescott to do more because of the players that we're putting around him. He is going to have to be the guy that is the catalyst for the unit that's supposed to win the day for us. And I'm not sure if that's the pressure that the Cowboys need to be putting on Dak Prescott in order to get the best version of him.
It's kind of a big year potentially for Dak, Mike T, because, I mean, look, he has a couple years left on the contract. They're talking about extending him this offseason. Maybe they get that done, maybe they don't. But, I mean, are we at a point now where we kind of we feel good about drawing a conclusion about, is this the guy that can lead Dallas to a Super Bowl? I mean, have you seen enough to still believe that?
Look, I've always been high on Dak Prescott, higher than others. And look, he had a bad year last year. He'd be the first one to admit it. But Dan, as we've talked about, part of the equation is when you're building a team is who are you going to get that is better? Dallas is going to win way too many games to be in the Caleb Williams discussion next year. With that said, there's just not a lot of other great quarterback options. So, we could quibble. Is Dak Prescott 6th, 11th? He's somewhere in there. And he's going to be hard to find somebody that has better character, better leadership, and is a better quarterback overall. So if I was Dallas, I would extend him sooner than later, knowing that Justin Herbert's coming down the pipe, Joe Burrow, and whenever Patrick Mahomes raises his hand and says, hey, I want more money, that's going to blow the whole market out of the water.
Yeah,
there you
no
go.
one's going to really be able to argue. If Patrick Mahomes comes in over the top and makes more money than everybody else, he's certainly shown that he's worth that. But you're right, Mike T, the Cowboys believe in Dak Prescott for a number of reasons, and I think they hope that they are able to win with him at some point.
Well, they believe in him in the regular season. I don't know that they have that same belief in the
Wow,
postseason.
can't he?
Therein lies the problem, the turnovers that we're seeing from Dak when it matters the
On
most.
one
It's hard
season.
to get past. I can't get what happened in that game in San Francisco out of my mind. I mean, if you even go back to last year against the 49ers, a home playoff game on Wild Card Weekend against Jimmy Garoppolo, and you couldn't take care of your business. And what popped up? Penalties and turnovers. So again, some of these things just become the identity of who the...
But didn't Aaron Rodgers lose to that same Jimmy Garoppolo who was injured the next week and only scored 10 points? Okay. All right. That's all I got to say about that, because you know what? It's time for me to go to work. We're having a big day today. My man Jet D's coming over, getting ready to finish getting stuff ready to start putting up tile. The drywall guys are working on the drywall. I'm working on the front and getting that place together. It is coming along nicely. All right, good people. I'll see you there. Peace.